In just 10 minutes, get 10 powerful takeaways from the 2-hour conversation between Amish teen Timothy and Theo Von. Timothy reveals what life is like with zero internet, the surprising traditions of Amish childhood, and his wild Rumspringa adventures. Stay till the end. You won't want to miss this. Takeaway 1. Living with zero internet. When Theo Von sat down with Timothy, the young Amish guest, the biggest shock was that Timothy has grown up with zero internet. No phones, no apps, no social media, and no television. Timothy explained that his community does not allow these things, and instead of browsing online, kids spend their time working, singing hymns, or playing outside. Theo kept comparing it to modern life and joked that Amish horses are like the original Teslas because they can bring you home without needing directions. Timothy laughed but agreed that his horse could usually find the way back, even if he was tired or fell asleep. This way of life seems almost impossible for people who are used to having Google or GPS every day. For example, Timothy said that when he visited Walmart, he was shocked to see televisions costing more than $1,000, which he compared to the price of nearly a third of a horse and buggy. For him, life without internet is not about missing out, but about having more time for real things like family, work, and faith. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 2. Amish language and traditions. Theo wanted to know what language Amish people speak. Timothy explained that most Amish speak Pennsylvania Dutch, which is a mix of German and English, but still very different from both. In their schools, children sing hymns in German and even memorize long German passages, even though they cannot really understand the language. Timothy admitted he often lost interest in those lessons because the words meant nothing to him. He remembered teachers making students memorize German for Christmas, and he would stumble through it without knowing what it meant. Theo joked that maybe Timothy had ADD, but Timothy replied that he had never even heard of ADD before coming outside. This showed how different the Amish bubble is from the internet-driven world where everyone reads about such conditions daily. For example, while a modern child may spend evenings glued to YouTube or video games, Timothy's childhood was filled with learning German songs he could not understand, which still connected him to his ancestors. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 3. Amish schools and childhood. Timothy gave Theo a picture of Amish school life. Children attend small one-room schoolhouses that often teach grades 1 through 8 all together. There is one teacher, and all the students, sometimes as many as 25, sit in the same room. The day begins with hymns, then reading and arithmetic, with lunch brought from home. After lessons, they play outside. Timothy described a game called Rabbit, where one person tries to tag others running between bases. He said even the teacher sometimes joined in. Unlike public schools, Amish schools end at the 8th grade, so children finish by the age of 13 or 14 and then move straight into work. Timothy said he could not really flirt at school because almost all the classmates were his first or second cousins. For example, he remembered spending hours under the porch with toy cars, pretending it was an entire world. Without internet, television, or video games, simple things like dirt, blocks, and imagination became their entertainment. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 4. How Amish families live. Theo asked Timothy where Amish babies are born. Timothy explained that some are born at home and others in hospitals, depending on the family. His own brothers and he were all born in a hospital. Amish people do use public services like hospitals and parks, but entertainment is different. Things like concerts or big shows are usually not allowed. Some Amish teens go secretly during Rumspringa. Timothy told Theo that older Amish from his community once enjoyed 80s rock music in secret and would blast it on weekends, shaking the whole barn. For example, Timothy mentioned that a friend of his wanted to see the country singer Morgan Wallen, something very normal for modern teenagers, but still a daring act in the Amish world. This shows how the line between allowed and forbidden is often drawn differently for Amish families compared to others. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 5. Amish church life. Theo wanted to understand how Amish worship works. Timothy explained that Amish communities do not have permanent church buildings. Instead, families take turns hosting church services in their homes. This means benches, hymn books, and food must be moved from house to house every other weekend. It can feel exciting but also stressful because the family must clean, prepare meals, and welcome everyone. Timothy said that when it was his family's turn, they felt both proud and overwhelmed. Theo joked about trimming cats for the event, but Timothy explained that Amish cats live outside in barns, surviving by hunting mice. He added that Amish districts are small groups within larger communities, and people usually attend church in the district closest to their home. For example, when it is time for one family to host, neighbors arrive early to help with food preparation, turning church into a large community gathering. We're halfway through the video. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're enjoying it, hit the thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. If you'd like to support us, please tap the thanks button below. It helps us keep making great content. Drop a comment and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Now let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6. What Rumspringa really is. Theo was curious about Rumspringa, the unique period when Amish teenagers are allowed to explore the outside world. Timothy explained that Rumspringa usually begins around the age of 16. Parents often allow it, with a few warnings about what not to do, but teens usually try those things anyway. During this time, they still live at home, but are free to go out on weekends. The phase often lasts 4 or 5 years until the person decides to be baptized, which usually happens when they are ready to marry. Some Amish return to the church, while others decide to leave permanently. For example, Timothy described his cousin, whose parents became pregnant during Rumspringa, and then left the Amish church completely to raise their child in the outside world. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 7. Fun and danger during Rumspringa. When Theo asked what Timothy had done during his Rumspringa, Timothy shared some surprising stories. He said he had driven a Corvette for the first time, which felt as powerful as a horse on special oats. He also rode in a helicopter at an air show, where he felt like a bird flying over the landscape. Timothy admitted that Amish youth often experiment with smoking, drinking, and vaping during Rumspringa. He said they sometimes party at the homes of ex-Amish people, where rules are more relaxed. For example, after one of Theo's comedy shows, Timothy laughed about how wild the music felt to him, since he had never heard that type of sound before, proving how new and exciting outside experiences are when you come from a world with zero internet. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 8. Family expectations in marriage. Theo asked Timothy about how dating and marriage work in Amish culture. Timothy explained that relationships often start during Rumspringa, at weekend singings or parties. Some parents want their children to wait until 18, but in practice, many begin earlier. Baptism into the church usually comes when someone wants to marry, because baptism makes them an official member. If an Amish person marries someone outside, the outsider must become Amish, or the Amish person must leave the community. For example, Timothy recalled a rare case where an outsider joined the Amish, but he said this almost never happens because giving up modern comforts like phones, cars, and electricity is too big a step for most people. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 9. Gender roles in Amish families. Theo was curious about what Amish women do at home. Timothy explained that women usually handle cooking, cleaning, raising children, and gardening, while men do farm work, carpentry, or cabinet making. Families help each other when needed, and women also manage finances, including property deeds and the family checkbook. Timothy praised his grandmother's breadsticks as some of the best food he had ever eaten, showing how much value is placed on cooking skills. He added that at barn raisings or community events, meals are big and hearty, often including chicken, mashed potatoes, corn, and pie. For example, Timothy said that when food is too hot, Amish people often cool it down with applesauce, something that surprises outsiders but is a long-standing family tradition. Now let's move to the last takeaway. Takeaway 10. Timothy's honest perspective. Throughout the podcast, Timothy showed how honest and open he is about his life. He admitted that the Amish way has strict rules, but also described the joy of living close to family and faith. He told Theo that he enjoyed attending his comedy show, and even gave him an Amish hat as a gift. Theo asked if he could ever become Amish, and Timothy replied that he could, as long as he followed the rules. For example, Timothy said that when outsiders give gifts, like toys for Amish children at Christmas, it is welcomed, showing that while the Amish protect their traditions, they also accept kindness. In the end, Timothy's voice reminded many viewers of what life feels like without constant phones, apps, and internet noise, which made his story so refreshing to hear. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, hit the thanks button below. It really helps us keep going. If you enjoyed this summary, please leave a like and share it in your WhatsApp groups. To join discussion about this video, drop a comment below. And for more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below.